Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, we're on the hunt for something ancient predators left behind.
This is exciting!
Don't just look. Why getting up close and interacting with the animals here is encouraged. And we'll meet Tonka. He will live up to his big name. This is the largest mammal here in the United States. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. Hello and welcome to Animal Outtakes. I'm Marcia Panucci, and this is my best friend, Zeus. They have been in existence for more than 400 million years, and you can still find them today. Sharks. But this trip, we weren't on the hunt for the sharks themselves, but rather something the ancient ones left behind. Chuck, we're here on this beautiful Venice beach in Venice, Florida, and you've been sifting the sand. And what are we looking for?
Shark's teeth. What
Really?
everybody wants to look for.
Now, I'm confused. Do these sharks just lose their teeth and then they come up, or have they been here for quite a while?
What we have going on here is we have an ancient river bottom offshore about a mile, and it was here formed millions of years ago. And we have a gently sloping shelf, and what's happening is little by little these teeth are washing up to where people can find them, and these are all extinct shark teeth.
But why only the teeth?
The teeth are what the shark lose the most of, about 40,000 in their lifetime, and they're the most readily part of the shark that will fossilize because it's the hardest. It's almost like bone.
Now, are their teeth like our teeth, or there's calcium?
Yes, calcium carbonate, same dentine, enamel, basically the same, yes.
You know, it amazes me because a very interested fan of ours said to me that around the Lake Okeechobee area, that if you go into the forest, you'll find teeth. Well, how did they get there?
Florida was underwater, so these megalodon sharks, and all the sharks would swim in these shallow estuaries when Florida was covered with water. It'd be like 40, 50 feet deep. And that was where they would feed, and then they would lose their teeth. And when they feed, that's how they lose their teeth, is when they feed, and naturally they just keep losing teeth.
Okay, so let me try this. Okay, so I'm coming down over here.
Pull it towards you very gently.
All right.
All right, pick it up.
Pick it up.
There you go, shake it in the water.
Oh, shake it in the water.
To wash out all the sand. Put it right in the water. There you go.
Oh, look it! Look it, look it, look it! Oh my goodness! Ah, this is exciting! This is a tooth, right?
There you go.
Oh, there we go! And there's another one in here. Oh my goodness, is this exciting? This is better than looking for shells. Look at that. Well, this was a little guy.
Look at the teeth. The shape of the teeth tells you what the shark was.
What you're telling me is that each shark has its own toofer.
Yep, own unique tooth, yes, exactly.
Well, there you go, I got two. Well, this was the water from Hurricane Irma.
And well, this was all flooded. We had a lot of rain, and when
Yes.
and when the tides came up, this all flooded. So if you look, when the water receded, it exposes some of the material here.
Well, you have to have an eagle eye for this.
Yeah, and what I tell new people is take your time, and like you're doing, bend down and look very slowly. Look for a shape. Look for that triangle shape.
Well, I see kind of a,
What do you see?
Happy?
Yeah.
What is that? Nothing.
I see something right there. See that little, pick that up right there.
Which?
That right there.
This?
Yep. Pick
This?
that up, yes.
This is a nothing.
No, it's not. That is a stingray palate tooth from a stingray. See the lines in it? That's part of their teeth, the
Oh, for
crushing
goodness
mouth
sakes.
plate.
Is it over here? Is
Yep,
it that?
right there. Look right there.
Wow. Well, I did it. My day's complete.
Oh,
I've
come on
got
over
a
here.
shift. Oh,
come
there's
on, come
more?
look over here. Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, pretty soon I'll have a necklace. As a young girl, I walked these beaches and I picked shells because that's what you did. I never knew that there was a treasure like this. amongst those shells?
Florida is one of the best places in the world for Pleistocene, Miocene, Ice Age fossils.
Well,
People come from all over the world to scuba dive off of Venice and to go in the Peace River. Remember, Marcia, always keep your head held high, but look down once in a while. You never know what you might step on.
You got it, Chuck. Absolutely. Anyone who's collecting fossils in Florida on land owned or leased by the state must have a Florida fossil permit. Obtaining a permit is a way for paleontologists to keep track of where and what kind of fossils are discovered. But if you're collecting shark's teeth, no permit is required. When it comes to conservation, this facility's approach is to get guests up close to its residents. At the Dolphin Research Center, they encourage guests to touch and interact with their animals. The center says this instills a lasting bond and connection.
Good. You show your teeth. Oh, beautiful. I was inspired from a young age. I visited SeaWorld and just fell in love with the animals and wanted to dedicate my life to helping the animals and conserving our oceans.
It happened for Sarah. It was an encounter with animals when she was young that led her to want to help. It was a moment that changed Sarah's future and in turn has influenced the future of the animals here at Dolphin Research Center in the Florida Keys.
Our goal at Dolphin Research Center is for these dolphins and sea lions to be ambassadors for their species, to teach people about them, hope people fall in love with them, and thus want to protect animals out in the wild.
One way to help their mission is to get more people involved and want to give back.
We have found that by putting people in touch with them, allowing them to come on the dock, participate in some of our interactive program, that seems to be the most inspiring thing. There's something about that eye-to-eye connection and a touch that really hits home for people and makes it more than just, seeing a dolphin on TV.
Hi guys, so this is Louie. He's another one of our rescue dolphins.
Getting kids and adults up close and interacting with dolphins leaves an impression
That's a really good question.
and makes guests want to learn more. Louis was rescued after the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf, and he was only given a 5% chance of survival. Now, he is winning the hearts of the people he meets.
Hey buddy, great job, Jack. Are you having fun today? Yeah? Good boy.
And Jax, who when he was just around 7 months old was attacked by a shark around Jacksonville, Florida. But Jax's story isn't about having a fear of sharks, but rather about his strength, determination, and will to survive.
Jack swims just as fast and jumps just as high as the other dolphins.
Jax even has a sense of humor. Here he's doing his imitation of a shark. There's no denying the people who visit Dolphin Research Center will walk away with a memorable encounter. Staff like Sarah hopes most will take away a passion to want to do more. And maybe, just maybe, a special few will want to follow in her footsteps. Dolphins are one of the smartest animals on the planet. They are social and have a sophisticated language as well. Scientists say dolphins actually give themselves individual names with certain whistles. They can recognize their own and others. This animal has joined the bald eagle as a symbol of the United States. Do you know what it is? Get ready for some big cuteness. Next. Every dog deserves a lifelong loving home. Dante's Den provides a pristine, comfortable haven for dogs that have been abandoned or surrendered by their owners. Every pup in our Joyful Dogs adoption program receives lots of love and attention, is properly immunized, spayed or neutered, and is in good health. Find your new furry best friend at Dante's Den. For more information, go to dantesden.org or call 844-DANTES-DEN. Welcome back. In 2016, then President Obama signed a law making this animal the national mammal of the United States. It is one of the largest mammals found here in North America and also has one of the biggest conservation success stories. Clayton, I'm so excited to meet Tonka because he is an American bison and so much a part of our history.
That's a great symbol of America.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you come across this gorgeous creature?
Well, we had a bison here for quite a few years, and he was a really great part of our hoofstock family that we have out in our front field. It's kind of a wild group. You know, there's a zebra, a llama, some camels, some ponies, and a big giant bison. You know, well, he was over 30-something years old, and we recently lost him. And a good friend of ours that has animals found out about it and knew a lady that had some, and she had too many in her herd. She was a little older and needed to thin out a little bit, and he decided that he'd get us a little gift. So that's where Tonka came into our life.
And how old is Tonka right
only
now?
4 months old.
Oh.
Only a beautiful little boy. He's only 4 months old. A really great guy. He's already starting to take to a lot of his animal family and his human family. And soon, when he gets a little bigger, a little more size on him, then he gets to go back out to the front field and get introduced to all those other guys that already absolutely love bison.
You know, you talk about when he gets to his so-called fighting weight. What is his weight? He's a big baby.
He's a big boy. He's already a couple 100 pounds right now, only at 4 months old. And he likes his milk. I can say that. He likes a baba.
Okay.
And yeah, they get huge. I mean, we're talking animals that can be thousands of pounds. You know, they're so powerful and so majestic. You know, they really are an amazing part of American history. They did have a really hard time, you know, in the early 1900s. They almost went extinct. But thanks to good animal husbandry and good care, they've been able to bring these animals back, and they're kind of making a resurgence. And we're really happy to have one of them here to, you know.
To baby.
Yeah, just to love on a little bit. Nothing wrong with some bison loving.
Now I'm looking at his gorgeous face, and I'm seeing the horns. They're beginning to come out.
Yeah, he's just got little nubs right now.
Yes, he's
and
got the little
as
nubs.
he matures, they'll get bigger and bigger. And I mean, they're incredible. They're a few inches in diameter, and just they're amazing because of the power that they can withstand when they do, do their dominance and their rituals that they do out in the wild. When they do collide, it's incredible that they don't just break off like that, because basically it's hair.
Tonka's ancestors were around back when saber-toothed tigers and woolly mammoths roamed. But when early settlers started to move west, the population of the bison were almost totally wiped out. But now conservation efforts has kept our national mammal in existence. Clayton, he's looking a little hungry. What do you think we should do?
Well, he's a little guy, so he's basically a bottomless trash can. He can take the stuff in all day long. So it looks like he's about ready for a baba. So we'll see if it's baba time.
Okay, and what's in his baba?
Well, actually, same mixture that you would give a young calf, a cow. It's a milk replacement. He also gets some probiotics in there for his digestion and stuff like that. And just the right temperature of warm water.
Of course. Tonka could grow about 6 feet tall and weigh close to 2,000 pounds. Bisons are the largest mammals found in the U.S.
And this is one of those things where it's a little bit of bonding time where we get to, be right next to him. We always try to, of course, pet him and encourage that, that he'll get used to us and love on us. See? But you got to be very, calm, and you got to take your time with these with all animals. It doesn't matter what it is.
Patience, patience.
Before you try to teach an animal anything or do anything with them, they have to have a spot for you in their heart. So if they don't love you, they're not going to listen to you. They're not
Clayton, this is something that is a real treat to me. And this is something you can't get from a computer screen.
That's right.
You just cannot get the enormity, the magnitude of this animal, who's obviously trusting us right now to get his baba.
Was that good, buddy? Okay, that's it.
That's it. All gone.
What a good boy.
There we go. Well, that was done in record time.
Very good. Yes, he's good. He's good.
And don't let a bison's size fool you. When Tonka gets bigger, he can really step on the gas. Bisons can run close to 35 miles per hour and even jump fences. Scientists once estimated there was around 25 million bison across North America. Now, fewer than 30,000. So being able to come here to places like the Big Cat Habitat in Sarasota, Florida, gives folks a chance to encounter animals that they might not see in the wild.
In some way, You know, some little kid is going to leave here and become a veterinarian or a park ranger or, you know, somebody that's going to make a difference in animals' lives, because there's so many of them out there that need our care, and they need us to responsibly take care of them forever.
Fossils show there is one place in North America where bison have lived continuously since prehistoric times, and that is Yellowstone National Park. There you will find the largest bison herd on public land. Yellowstone bison are similar to their prehistoric ancestors, showing no genetic link to cattle, which nowadays other herds are found to have traces of. It is one of the most popular turtle species that people have as pets. But there is something you should know so you won't get sick if you decide to own one. Thanks for staying with us. It's a popular turtle that you'll find in the pet store, usually sold when they are about this big. But red-eared sliders won't stay that small for long, so how good of a pet will these turtles make? Let's find out in this week's Pet of the Week. Dr. Don, this is one of the most colorful turtles that I have ever seen. Red ears. It is ears, correct?
They call this a red-eared slider.
Okay. And again, we must ask, after you do your research, is this the pet that you'd like to have at home?
It depends. First, it depends if you're in a state that's legal to have a turtle as a pet. A lot of states in the United States, it's illegal. And then in some states, they're only legal if you buy a turtle over 4 inches in length.
I see.
Interesting. And then once again, they're not a huggy-feely, touchy-feely pet. They're a reptile, and the best way to keep something like this happy, and you can keep something like this happy if you're allowed to keep them, I'd say like a 55-gallon aquarium about half full, and you treat them like tropical fish. As long as they have a float they can get out of the water, and you feed them appropriately, and they have over-the-counter, readily available floating food sticks that are complete and balanced, and you can have a turtle from hatching size to it for 30 years, eating just this prepared food and looking good.
Now you're saying the life expectancy of this turtle is 30 years?
If you take care of them right, yes.
Wow.
Easily in the 20s. Second thing too, the reason why they are not legal in many states is because of the fear of salmonella. Interesting, because an elegant study was done by Chicago Herpetological Society around 30 years ago, where they took a bunch of zoo-kept reptiles, beautiful specimens, the kind you'd love to have in your collection, and they cultured snakes, lizards, and turtles for salmonella. These are healthy, good-looking ones. Just rub it across their back. They found that 2/3 of healthy snakes are shedding salmonella at one time, about 1/3 of lizards, like that iguana, and about 5% of turtles. And turtles got the bad rap, because people used to, back in the 50s and early 60s, every pet store had those little red-eared slider turtles that
Yes.
people used to keep in little aquariums. And kids used to, filthy thing, just touch your lips, and they would get, they might get diarrhea and salmonella. This is the male, and he's being a little bit more shy.
He's being a little coy there.
Yes, males have real long fingernails,
Oh, yeah.
and when they underwater, when they're gonna mate, they'll go nose to nose, and the male will take his long fingernails and go like this and tickle the cheeks of the girl.
Well, that's not so bad.
Kind of cute. So, not for everybody. Do your research. Find out first if you can have these things, and once if it's legal, you can put 2 of these things in a 55-gallon aquarium, and they have a personality like a snake does not. Snakes are, I don't want to say stupid, but a snake is like a colored rope that walks around. These things will recognize you. You come in the room, they'll like, where you been? Hey, you got some food? They'll eat out of your hands. They have a personality.
She seems to be much more curious than he.
Yes. He's probably henpecked. Oh. Some women get overbearing. It's okay. And the 4-inch rule was that so a kid can't shove the whole turtle in their mouth.
Oh dear.
Well, excuse me, if the thing's shedding salmonella, you just touch it and touch your lip and you get it. So the rule of thumb with any reptile, is you wash your hands after you're done messing with it. You don't have it in your kitchen. You don't eat off the same plate as your reptile. Little common sense goes a long way.
The size of the tank you keep your turtle in will not influence their size. They will continue to grow. So if you decide a red-eared slider is a good pet for you, make sure your tank size grows along with your turtle. Stay with us. We're going to talk to the vet on a very important topic. Thanks for staying with us. What are we going to talk about today, Benson? Cats? Dr. Glassman, we have to talk about litter boxes. They are a necessary, very necessary evil and very important to the cats.
Absolutely. And I'd like to talk about today cats that don't use the litter box all the time for urinating or defecating in the box, and we call that elimination problems. And it's actually, if it's not taken care of, you can imagine urine and feces around the house people aren't thrilled with, and it's unfortunately a leading cause of euthanasia in cats if it's not dealt with properly.
Oh my.
So the most important thing for starters is the rule of thumb is to have 1 box per cat plus an extra. So if you have 2 cats, you should actually have 3 litter boxes. And they should be in different parts of the house. And I recommend unscented litter. The scent is for you, it's not for the cat, right? So if they don't like the scent, they're not going to
go.
Right. So unscented litter. Clumping litters, the newer clumping ones that you get are probably preferred by most cats, but the cheap old-fashioned clay is good too, all unscented. And I want boxes in different parts of the house because sometimes a cat might get scared in one room for some reason, a noise happens and they get afraid, or another pet in the house comes to play with them or attack them and they get scared of that area, so there's another area they can go to.
Now, how do you keep the dogs out of the litter box?
Well,
Because they love it.
Yeah, dogs find the feces kind of tasty little morsels for
Yes,
some reason.
yes.
It's strange, certainly to us. But yeah, that's hard. You'd have to have maybe baby gates or
Okay.
little gates, doorways that only the cat can get through if you have a bigger dog. But anyway, to deal with elimination problems, you want to nip it in the bud. As soon as a cat is not urinating or defecating in the box, first off, go to your veterinarian. Make sure there's not a medical problem that could be causing it, especially if they drink more and pee more with diabetes or hyperthyroidism or kidney disease. All can make them drink and pee more, so make sure there's no medical issue. Then they should address, behavior. You have to talk about behavior, what's going on in the household. New pets, new people, stress, things like that certainly affects cats. And there are lots of techniques. There are feel away is a pheromone, facial pheromone. When cats rub on everything, they're happy, they're relaxed. They're actually spreading a pheromone to communicate with other cats to tell them, I'm happy, I'm relaxed. You don't have to be nervous. You don't have to mark your territory, urinate or defecate to mark your territory. So pheromones, if you're lucky, sometimes can do it by spraying. They come in spray bottles and they come in an aerosolizer, which you plug into the wall, and it aerosolizes a whole room. But a lot of cats, there's too much stress and you have to put them on some oral anti-anxiety medications. The best one I've ever found is actually Paxil, like Prozac, Paxil, Zoloft. That category of drug are serotonin drugs. And another feline practitioner about 20 years ago told me that Paxil was the best, and I agree. Hands down, Paxil's the best drug for a cat to help them relax so they don't feel the anxiety that they have to urinate or defecate to mark their territory.
What is the daily maintenance, Dr. Glassman?
All litter boxes should be scooped every single day, if not more, 2 or 3 times a day. Some cats will have one urine ball or one spot of feces, and they won't use that box again. So cleaning it every single day is really critical.
So you give it to the cat, you might give a little to yourself, right?
Couldn't hide.
Okay, we thank you so much, and let's go find that litter box, Pretty. Great advice from the doc as usual. We hope you've had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. Zeus and I will be back next week with even more animals and some wild adventures. Until then, thanks for watching. Come on, up. No, come on, let's go. I'm gonna have to talk to your agent. Up. Nah, not this. Chuck? No. Well, years ago I would have been delighted. Not today. Oh, wow, this looks like some. Yay! Look what I got, Chuck! Look what I got!
Mine.
Oh, no, it's mine now! It's mine!